I feel like sometimes we build this culture of like competition and we don't realize that there is literally enough out there for everyone to eat. And by you sharing and helping somebody else, it doesn't take anything else off your plate. What's meant for you really won't miss you. I am the CEO and founder of Money Honey Financial, which is a boutique accounting firm where we specialize in tax prep, bookkeeping, and tax planning for small businesses and individuals. Outside of that, I also host my own podcast called the Let's Talk Money Honey podcast, where we talk about entrepreneurship. We give the raw, real on what it's like to be the entrepreneur. I talk about my sweet moments and my sour moments, and this is Seeme Gang. Good question. So I've been doing what I'm doing right now, the way that I'm doing it for as a full-time entrepreneur, almost 2 years. So in March, it will be March of 2024, it will be 2 years since I left my full-time job on Wall Street. But prior to that, I've been doing taxes for a long time. So when I was in college, I was doing taxes on the side to make some extra money. I did internships around tax prep, but then after college, I went to go work on Wall Street and do internal audit, which is very, 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 very different. So I'll say I've been dabbling for at least 10 years now. Not as intense as people might think. I gotta be honest, like I have felt very blessed to have been placed in work environments where people have like been supportive of me. So I think that like one thing I really enjoyed about my Wall Street experience because I had a ton of internships. So I had 6 internships. My last one was with Goldman Sachs. And when I chose them to go work full time, because fortunately I had a few offers to go full time, I decided to go there because I felt like I was surrounded by people that pushed me to be a better version of myself and also gave me the tools to do it. I think there are some environments where people want you to be better, but they don't give you the blueprint or the tools to be there. My Wall Street experience wasn't like that. I had people who like wanted to see me win, and it was great. You know, no, not overtly. So I didn't face any overt discrimination, but I did experience microaggressions, right? It's just like I was the only black person on my team for a very long time. I was like one of 3 people that were black on our floor for a very long time. There was like no senior leadership on no one in offices were black, right? So there wasn't overt discrimination where I felt like I didn't get something because I was a person of color or a woman, but what you see is kind of like limits what you believe what you can be, right? So I never saw myself as a senior leader there because I didn't see anybody there that looked like me. And maybe we can call that discrimination too, but it wasn't like, girl, you can't have this opportunity. I got promoted on time, I got promoted early. Like none of those things were an issue for me, but I will say like double-edged sword, right? Like I was lucky enough to be a high performer performing well at Goldman. And as a black woman, I got a lot of eyes on me. But could you imagine if I wasn't performing well, I would have those same eyes on me and the opportunities, instead of opportunities, it probably would have been negative attention. So fortunately, like I mentioned, like I was really lucky to have managers that wanted to see me grow, wanted to cultivate those relationships. So yeah, that was my experience. I wouldn't go back. I don't plan on going back. I don't think that there's probably a number in mind that would get me there, but I don't think nobody's paying me that. So I'll probably never be back there. Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of ignorance, and I also think there's a lot of false information out there. I think that we go on social media and we see people that have somehow became millionaires very young, and we think that that's how like life is for majority of people, and it's like not true at all. And I don't think that we have enough emphasis on financial literacy in our communities and in our cultures. And I can't even give you the answer onto like why that is, right? Because as I'm getting older, and becoming more adult, because I think last year was the first year I really felt grown. I'm like, damn, I got a mortgage. I'm grown as shit. But as I'm becoming more adult, things that I used to blame our parents on, I'm understanding like, damn, like they was just people too. So it's like, how can I be mad at my mom for not teaching me finances when she didn't know it? Or how can I be mad at my dad for not teaching me finances when no one taught it to him? So I think that it's just like this cycle that continues, but like somebody has to do the work to try and fix it, but you also have to be open to it as well. So I think that we are in the generation where we don't really have the tool, like the tools aren't there as much as they should be, but I think that there's definitely progress from how things have been in the past. People gonna hate this because everybody want a quick fix, right? Like I think like if you're in a place where you want to get your finances in order, the first step that you have to do is face your finances. Like really understand where it is, like where the issues are. For me, what that looks like is listing everything out. These are what's in these bank accounts. Sometimes that shit is embarrassing. This is where like I have debt. And when I did that exercise for the first time, I said, damn, my net worth is negative. Like I owe more people than I have money. And for me, I had to that helped me shift my mindset on how I thought about my goals. So before I would be like, I'm trying to pay down debt. I'm trying to pay down debt. I'm trying to pay down debt. And that felt like negative. Like I would throw money at something, I would lose money, and I wasn't gaining anything. Then I had to shift my mindset to, you know what, I want to create wealth for myself. And realizing that by me throwing away putting money towards that debt, yeah, I no longer have that money, but the amount, my net worth is growing, right? So I had to shift my mindset. So I would say, you watching this and you like, girl, that sound good. I'm gonna tell you, the first thing is you literally have to list it out, because it is going to open your eyes so much for you to see what's actually going on. And then like keep track of, like actually go through your bank statements and see where you're spending your money on. A lot of people will like tell you like, maybe you got a spending problem, you got to cut back. Sometimes you got an income problem. You need to find a way to make more money. And sometimes you can't scale, you can't be any more frugal. You just got to find a way to make more money. So if that's you going to get a side hustle, if that's you, like I was working on Wall Street and still did a side hustle, right? Like I was making 6 figures and still was doing something on the side. And that's because I had goals and I wanted to see that I was drowning in student loan debt, right? So, and I wanted to change that for myself. So I think that like sometimes you got to find ways to make more money. And I think that that's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.